All right, Miss Aurorah is back. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. In this video, we are going to get into the correct way to complete this trust application for Fidelity Bank. For those of you who have been emailing, and I thank you for emailing, please continue to do so at info@aurorahday.consulting.com. You're saying that you have the fiduciary duty to now enhance the finances of this trust, and you want to go with Fidelity as your brokerage. Okay, so in this video, we're going to get into the correct way to complete the application for an irrevocable trust. Okay, remember that I tell all of the secured entrepreneurs that the irrevocable trust is the trust that comes with all of the tax advantages. Do you all know I had this lady one time say, "So are you telling me not to pay taxes?" Hey, don't get it started. Okay, don't you start that mess. If you go up in Caesar's house and you start messing around with Caesar, well, you might have to pay Caesar. Okay, you might have to pay his little fees, fines, and whatever the heaven else he got set up for you if you're going over there playing his game. All right. So in this video, this is not going to be for a grantor revocable trust, okay, that has no real tax advantages. Okay, this is for the irrevocable trust. All right, so I want to make that clear, because you know what we do here in the Secured Entrepreneur Movement. We specialize in creating wealth, multiplying wealth, and most importantly, protecting wealth. Okay, so now that we've got that out the way, Millionaire Secret Strategies link is below. If you have not already viewed that video and got onto Miss Aurorah's calendar, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you have not, press the like button on this video, because you should be liking all of Miss Aurorah's videos. Okay, subscribe to the channel, please do so now. Okay, and so for those of you who do not know who I am Miss Aurorah Dey, and this is the Secured Entrepreneur Movement. Here we are, secured entrepreneurs, at the Fidelity new account application. Okay, and you see it's going to say new Fidelity account, trust brokerage. All right, use this application to open a Fidelity account for a trust. All right, so I want to come over here to answer one of the first questions that some of you emailed about this additional documentation, and you were saying you didn't know what they were referring to. First of all, it tells you at the top of this application, additional documentation requirements, Fidelity certification of trust form provided with this application. So they're telling you that it's provided with this application, or you can download it at fidelity.com/forms. Okay. Now, here's the other part that some of you were wrestling with. Okay, because once again, you're getting a lot of misinformation and you're all like, I don't need to give them this, I don't need to give them that. Hello. Says, or if your account is in the name of a foreign trust, or if you prefer not to complete the Fidelity certification of trust form. So they're telling you, if you don't want to complete their form, this is what you have to do. You will need to certify your trust by providing a copy of the pages of the trust document. That includes the full name of the trust, the trust date, name of the updated or successor trustee or trustees that match the trustee or trustees listed in this form, along with all of the signatures. Do not include the entire trust document. Okay. Part of the problem that Ms. Aurorah is consistently saying to the secured entrepreneurs who are emailing is that whomever is doing these phony documents for you, whoever is putting this stuff together for you, you don't have all of the documentation. So as you're coming through not only this application, but some of the other things that you are emailing here, and I'm asking you, well, where is the document that proves this or that? You don't have it. And that's why you're having a hard time completing the application. All right. So please, if you know that this is you and you want to operate in trust, please get on Miss Aurorah's calendar. The link is going to be below this video. Okay. So that answers that. You can either complete the form that Fidelity provides for you, or you can provide the proper documentation. Now, you should already know why they're saying don't include the entire trust document. Don't give us all your, we're not asking you for all your pertinent information. We don't want to see all the stuff, the other stuff. We want the information that is relevant to open up this account, okay? And if you're not aware of what that is a problem, all right? Again, get on Miss Aurorah's calendar. So number one, trust information. Trust name. This is the trust name, not your name. Enter full trust name as evidenced by the trust document. What is that? Okay. For the benefit of. Now, a lot of you had questions as it relates to for the benefit of, and you were saying they want me to name the, who my beneficiaries are. They didn't ask you to name your beneficiaries. Okay. What is the trust in benefit of? Come. We can discuss that, because I don't want to say anything. This video is public. And so what I'm trying to express is that you don't need to get all out the way with this, because that's what a lot of your emails were about. For the benefit of, okay? They're not asking you for your personal information and they told you at the top, don't give us all of your trust documents, okay? You're going to put the tax ID number for the trust right here. This is the tax ID number. A lot of you were getting a little confused because it says trust social security. All right. Bear in mind that there's a lot of people who do grantor trust. They do these living trusts and they put it in their name. It's not wise at all. It's ridiculous. There are no tax benefits to that, but some people do it and they're using their own social security number. If that is not you, then you're not going to put your social security number. You're going to put your trust tax ID number. Okay. And you can check the box, TIN. All right. And then the date trust. That's going to be on your trust documents. Okay. The trust address. This is the legal address used for tax reporting. What address did you put up there? What address did you put up there on your trust documents? Did you use a commercial address? I hope you do. Okay. Some of you are putting your home address. I don't understand that. That is not the trust address for the most part. You're going to put the legal address that you used maybe when you apply for the EIN number for the trust. What address did you use? Okay. The mailing address. And they're telling you that, hey, listen, this could be a PO box. It could be a drop box or, a commercial location. All right. That is for the mailing. If you do not receive your mail at wherever you have for legal tax reporting purposes, okay, then you're going to put this address. And let me clarify this before the emails come. This is a legal address used for tax reporting. For those of you who do not know, the irrevocable trust is going to pay tax on any income that it earned throughout the year if the trustee does not give the earned income to the beneficiary or beneficiaries. Remember that the tax burden falls on the beneficiary, not the trust, unless the trust decides to keep that money. The trust decides that earned income is going to keep the income. Then the trustee is responsible to file a 1041. That answers that. Okay. Now, this is where a lot of you got messed up. Primary trustee information. You are the trustee. Not for those of you who email, you are the trustee. Okay. And you are going to state that here. Trustee only, because what they're saying is provide the following information for the primary trustee. That's the instruction. To provide information for any additional trustees, grantors, and or any others with the authority to appoint, remove trustees and or revoke
amend the trust, or do so in Section 3, and have all trustees sign in Section 8. Okay, they're telling you do that in Section 3. This section, we only want to hear about the trustee. So yes, you're going to check trustee only. Check trustee only. Okay, the trap. Authority to appoint, remove trustees. Who is that? Not you. Authority to revoke or amend the trust. If you can revoke or amend the trust, then it's not irrevocable. Okay, so that's why you guys have to know what the heaven is going on. Okay, trustee and grantor. No. Now, if in fact the trustee is an entity, what are they telling? Then you would check this, because what's happening is that you're saying maybe you're the trustee because you manage an LLC, you manage a corporation, you know what I'm saying? And that legal entity is playing the role of the trustee. So what does it tell you to do? If the trustee is an entity, check the box. Enter full entity name as evidenced by the relevant formation document. So you can't just check that box and then you don't have the documentation for your limited liability company or the corporation who's claiming to be the entity that is acting as the trustee here. Okay, so now enter full first and last name as evidenced by a government issued unexpired document. And that's going to include a driver's license, a passport, or a permanent resident card. Okay, check this out. They're telling you this on the application. So don't start that whole, why are they asking me for my identification? Why are they asking me for a photo ID? They just told you here. We need as evidenced by a government issued unexpired. Stop playing these games. If you are the trustee, you're going to put your first name, if you got a middle legal name, if you use it, your last name. Again, they're asking for the entity name. That now the entity name has to do with the trustee being an entity. So don't get tripped up there. Okay. Your date of birth, your email address. Okay. If there's an entity, you're going to put the entity's tax ID number. Okay. If it's an individual, yes, you're going to put your social security number. You want to know why? Because they want to make sure that you're not a money launderer. You don't owe the bank, any other bank, any money. You haven't written a bad check. Okay. Come on. You already know that this is the procedure, right? Your telephone number. Okay. Your residential address. Yeah. You're the trustee. They want to know about you. Okay. Yes, they do. This is the legal address used for tax report. Once again, if this is a tax paying scenario, so don't get tripped up, all right? Your residential address here, okay? What is your mailing address? If it's the same as the residential address, you can click the box. I wouldn't go there, okay? I would have my mailing address wherever that mail goes, okay? It may not come to my residential address, but here's the glitch. The residential address, okay, might be on your identification. So I would have that match if possible. If you give them identification like your driver's license that has your residential address on it, I would make sure that matches, okay? Because you don't need the hassle. All right, citizenship. Are you a US citizen? Great. If not, start filling out this information. Okay. Now, here's the other thing that you all were saying, the income source. Okay. It's either you're employed. If you are, they're asking you to tell them who your employer is. You may not want to do that. Okay. If you're self-employed, you can check the self-employed box. Why? This whole thing here says they want your employer. They want your employer. That's if you check employed. All right. So self-employed, if you want to check that, okay. If you're retired or you're not employed, they're just asking, what's your source of income? You know why? Where's this money coming from that's about to be sitting up over here? Okay. This is a financial institution. They have to ask these questions, okay? Now, Do you have any associations? Please read this before you start emailing Miss Aurorah. Read it carefully. Here we go. If you are employed by or associated with a broker-dealer, stock exchange, exchange member firm, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, that's FINRA, folks, a municipal securities dealer or other financial institution, or are the spouse or an immediate family member residing in the same household of someone who meets the aforementioned employment criteria, provide the company's name and address below. They need to know this, okay? By providing this information and completing this form, you hereby authorize Fidelity to provide the associated person's employer with duplicate copies of confirmations and statements, or the transactions data contained therein for your account or accounts and any accounts you choose to have on a consolidated statement for purposes of their compliance review. Listen, if this is not you, then you're not going to complete this at all. Also tells you to the left, as a person associated with a member firm, you are obligated to receive consent from that firm, okay? Fidelity has existing consent agreements with many firms for their employees to maintain accounts with Fidelity and to deliver transactional data. If your firm is not one of them, Fidelity will attempt to contact your firm's compliance office. Again, if this is not you, come on down to section 3. Okay, here we go again. Please find secured entrepreneurs. This section is for additional individual information. They're not asking you for your information a second time. Remember, we was up there at the first one. This is additional individual information. If you do not have additional individual information, skip next. Okay. Down here, this is still for the additional. That's for the additional. So now we're going to get on to 4. Here's where it gets kind of juicy. Okay. The initial funding. Check all funding options that apply to this one-time transfer. Please read. This is where y'all had me messed up in the email. It says one-time transfer. Check all funding options that apply to this one-time transfer. I'm going to do this transfer one time. So there's a box. By check payable to Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. This must be a check written by you, as third-party checks cannot be accepted. If you are the trustee of the trust, then that check comes from the trustee of the trust, okay? If it's a transfer from another firm, you check that box. If it's a transfer from your Fidelity non-retirement account, you check that box, okay? That's how you're going to complete this, point blank. 9 times out of 10, you're going to check by check payable to Fidelity Brokerage Services. Now, if you already have an existing trust account, then you're going to have a check to write to these people, okay? Simple as that. Number 5, your core position. Please read this carefully. Your core position is where your money is held until you invest it. I'm going with number 1, Fidelity Government Money Market Fund. That's the default if no choice is indicated. So if you skip that, that's the default. Okay? Unless you want your money to be held, Fidelity Treasury Money Market Fund, or FCash, taxable interest bearing cash option. I would never check that. So I'm going with Fidelity Government Money Market Fund there. Okay. 6, you've got some ongoing funding options. Okay. Okay. Please read this carefully. EFT allows you to electronically transfer funds between your bank or other financial institution and Fidelity. This section must be completed for automatic investments from outside Fidelity. And they're telling you, if you're not ready to sign up now, you can always log in to fidelity.com /EFT after your account has been opened to establish EFT. You must be an owner of the account at the other financial institution. You will need to attach a voided check, deposit slip, or bank statement with the account number and all owner names pre-printed on it. So if you are not ready to do this right now, they're telling you don't have to do it right now. You don't have to do it. Okay. Automatic investments. Automatic investments may be set up at any time. Okay. This is at any time to direct electronic funds transfer that are held in your core position into the investment vehicle of your choice. This can be established by visiting fidelity.com /auto invest. Okay. So we're telling you, you don't need to do it at this time. Here we go. Income and dividends. This is the spot. All income from securities, dividends, capital gains, or sale proceeds is automatically deposited into your account. Dividends from mutual funds are reinvested in the originating fund. To change your distributions, they're telling you all you have to do is call, or you log in to fidelity.com /update account features. Okay. Miss Aurorah likes to call. I'm calling. Okay. Before I start pressing buttons, I'm on the phone with somebody. Excuse me. This is what I'm trying to get accomplished. And I see here that I can do A, B, C, or D. And based upon this account situation, what is the best option for me before I start doing anything? Okay. That's what Miss Aurorah does. I'm going to call. If I'm unsure, I make a call. Unsure, call. That's it. Account features. Please pay attention to this. Woo! Pay attention to this. Additional account features are now available for new accounts. You may establish most of these online, or you may choose from the following. Please, people, do not check order me a Fidelity debit card. This is an irrevocable trust. You are the trustee who has no personal interest in the monies that are being held in this account. Do not check order me a Fidelity debit card. Don't you do. I would try to put a red line, on it if I could. Okay. So check writing, establish now. Check writing form is included with this application because that's really the only one that you need. Okay. Please send information to establish check writing in the future. You might want to check that too. I don't know. Establish Fidelity bill pay. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm with number one right here. Okay. Look at that. Order a second card. No, thank you. Request active trader. You don't need to do that now. If you're going to request an active trader, I would do exactly what they say. Call a trading specialist, and they give you the number. Okay. The only one I'm checking here is establish now check writing form, which is included in this application. Hello. All right. Electronic or paper. If you provided an email address in section 2, and unless you indicate otherwise below, all materials will be sent to you electronically. To confirm electronic delivery, respond to the electronic delivery agreement and consent, which we will email to you. Choose to receive the following by U.S. mail. You don't have to check anything here if you don't want. If you don't want to receive anything by U.S. mail, you don't have to receive anything by U.S. mail. Okay. Miss Aurorah has a lot of old school clients. So yes, they're going to check trade confirmations and related prospectuses. They would also check tax forms and related disclosures. Some people do want their account statements in the mail. Some people do want that. Most people don't. Miss Aurorah's old school clients, they would check all of it, okay? Because they like to see everything in paper, And I have a bad habit too. When I'm driving somewhere long distance, I will come to MapQuest and I will put in my destination and print out all the stuff, even though I'm going to use the map on the phone. I'm sorry. I really want to, I like to highlight stuff. I don't know. I'm like that too. So I get it. So if you're one of those people and you need stuff to come through the mail, check it all. Just get everything in the mail. If that's what you want. Okay. And then you're just going to come down here. And you're going to have your signature. So it would be your printed name, your signature, and today's date. Okay. Again, if you've got additional people, then of course they would provide their signatures as well. Okay. I would definitely read the terms and the conditions for this account. And everyone who works with Miss Aurorah knows I will read everything, nook and cranny, make a phone call. Can you please explain this? And unfortunately, I have found that a lot of, customer service representatives, they haven't read this. They don't even know. I get placed on hold several times, okay? I cannot stress enough that we always need to know more than these individuals who have a job, okay? They have a job and they help us over the phone. It doesn't mean they are privy to the information that you actually need, or they are privy to the knowledge that is needed to do what it is that you're trying to do here. Okay. So please, just bear that in mind, which is why I'm saying I would read all of this and I would start researching anything and everything that I do not understand. And then, yes, that's when you start making the phone call to start asking the representatives some questions. Okay. And that is the end of this application. You all know here in the Secured Entrepreneur Movement, we are long-termers. We're in it for the long game, okay? We're not interested in, we're going to do this get quick rich situation. I'm going to invest today and be worried about it tomorrow. And then by Friday, I'm calling the people up talking about, I want all my money back because I don't see anything. Like, that's just, we don't do that here. Don't even get Miss Aurorah started, because I'm about to start rhyming. I'm about to start some naughty by nature stuff.
All right, there you have it. That is the correct way to complete this application. Please, secured entrepreneurs, be very, very mindful as to what it is that you are doing. And you know that you can find Miss Aurorah at AurorahDayConsulting.com. And until next time,